seemed like that 13-0 run to close the second quarter really kind of ended up opening up the floodgates. What was it about that stretch that maybe you guys unlocked or got to?
I just thought we really amped up the pressure defensively, kind of went to another level there. Really feisty, generated some turnovers, shared it on the break, and then obviously we're able to carry that out of halftime as well.
Yeah, and then just the keys to actually doing that. You go and sit down for 15 minutes or so, and what did you notice about the team's mental state to be able to really keep their foot down the whole rest of the night?
Yeah, we didn't start the second half great, but then really strung together stops and really shared the ball, especially out on the break. We were able to either turn them over or stop them and secure the rebound, and then we were pitching it up ahead and really sharing the ball. And we looked fast when we did that, and I thought the ball movement and the defense, in concert, really opened the game up for us.
You talk about playing fast. I know playing fast is part of your identity as a team. 31 fast break points tonight. How much of that was just leaning into the identity of this team, and how much of it was kind of the game plan for tonight?
I mean, some of it was just the turnovers we were able to generate, and then we generated a ton, and then we were able to rebound the ball pretty well tonight. I thought in second half especially, really secured a lot of loose rebounds, and that got us out on the break as well.
Coach, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Mark, I think we talked the other night about SGA and where he maybe falls on his team because of point of attack defenders like Lou and Kaysen and a rim protector like Chet, but it's kind of hard to miss him tonight. I guess what you see from him on that end
Defensively,
mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought he's a really, really intelligent and savvy help defender. He's got great length. He uses his wingspan to impact passing lanes, and he's really learned the pictures, and so he really anticipates in the help. And then we have the luxury of being able to play him on a main guy if we choose to as well. So he's a pretty complete defender, and if you look at his trajectory just on that end of the floor, he's really developed over time and done a great job on that end for us.
Hey, Coach, the big men battle didn't materialize, but overall, how did you feel Chet played? He didn't have a good field goal percentage, but overall?
I thought he was good. I thought our whole team was good. I thought we had an edge on the glass. We had an edge at the rim. He had some really good rim contests, especially late in the first half and in the third quarter tonight. I thought the whole team, was really competitive tonight, and I thought we had a contagious toughness about us starting right about 3 or 4 minute mark in the second quarter.
19 steals for you guys tonight. I believe it's a franchise record. What do you talk about the defensive effort you guys gave tonight?
I thought it was effort based tonight. Like sometimes you just feel like, you're in the right place at the right time. But I thought there was a conscious, collective, mentality that we had. We kind of, like I said, tried to amp it to another level, and I thought that pressure was really able to generate a lot of those turnovers and deflections, and even on plays we didn't turn them over. I thought we were able to keep them out of rhythm on a lot of things.
And it seemed like you guys' most complete game this season. Is that the way you feel, or is it still not a little satisfying?
No, I mean, certainly satisfied. I thought we stacked a lot of good possessions tonight, so I'd never take that for granted. I mean, it's just not a linear progression in the season. There's games where you really stack them and you look pretty good on both ends, and then there's games where you regress. It's every game's important, every game's competitive, when the scoreboard goes on, but every game's also 1 of 82. So, I really was, impressed with how we competed tonight, but when we wake up tomorrow, we're back to 0-0, and we got to get ready for our next opponent.
And then career high 7 steals for Shea. You talked about how when he's out, you guys miss him on the defensive end more than anything. Is it when was the mindset change for him? Was it the beginning of last year, or was it just it was more noticeable last year for everybody else?
I don't think there's ever like one point of demarcation with anything developmentally. I just think it stacks over time. When you work on it, it's a combination of these guys gaining experience. Their bodies change when they're young players. They get a lot of reps. Their appreciation for commitment to it may change over time, but I don't think it happens on one day. And his defensive trajectory since he's been here is a good example of that.
Vasa gave you guys some good minutes tonight. Was that something that was pre-planned to try to get him involved in this game specifically? And what exactly did you see from him that you liked on the floor tonight?
Yeah, I mean, he's done a great job. As I thought that last group that was in there, the sharpness that they played with and moved with is a testament to the readiness that they have and how hard they've worked to keep themselves ready. You can't fake that level of sharpness. Trey Mann stuck out in that way tonight. And I think Voss is a good example of that too. You know, he hasn't played, you know, in a few games now, but he looks like he's played every night. There was a pop to him on both ends of the floor that was really impressive, and I thought he gave us really good minutes tonight.
Josh had a really good statistical game. Was there anything that you saw from him, kind of mindset-wise, that you would attribute that to?
I was really appreciative of the style he played with tonight. I thought, you know, he was really tapped into his identity as a player. You know, he was the first one to move it. He really ignited a lot of possessions with kind of the first pass of just getting it reversed or getting it advanced, and that puts us in a mode of ball movement and kind of starts the blender. And then as we saw tonight, I think he was 7 for 11. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't stop him from having a really good offensive night either. You know, he's benefiting from the very style that he's contributing to. So I thought, you know, that was good.
Mark, I don't know if we talked about this, but I asked Chet earlier, and Doug kind of acknowledged it last week, but this team is obviously throwing more lobs by this point now than it was last year. What's going into leaning into that? And I think Cameron's first game caught a lob today. What's going into leaning to that and just been behind the charge?
You know, I just think it's a good example. Like in practice, I mentioned this at another point, but in practice, in training camp, we weren't connecting on a lot of those plays, and you know, when we see a hurdle like that developmentally, we try to lean into it and get better at it instead of steering away from it. And the guys have done a great job with that. You know, they've especially in the pick and rolls. You know, the ones on the break, you know, have been good too. We're better in that area than we were last year, but I just think it's a good developmental lesson. You know that if there's not a finished product, you just keep at it and you'll improve over time. There's a lot of time, a lot of games.
And Mark, with the young core that you guys have and the young core that they're starting to build, do you take a second ever in a game like this and think maybe this is the first of a rivalry that gets built as these two programs sort of build back to being contenders and major players in the Western Conference?
No, you know, I just think we have great respect for them. You know, they're people, they're players, their program. It's one game. You know, it's one of 82, and you know, it was our night. It wasn't their night, but we're 0-0 next time we play them.
Anybody else? Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.